First, let me welcome our today's speaker for this session, Professor Imran Mirza. So, I will take this opportunity to introduce Professor Imran Mirza to the audience. So, Professor Imran Mirza, he is an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Engineering at Don Bosco Institute of Technology, Kurla. He serves as an IT manager as well as faculty coordinator for the ACM DBIT student chapter, where he mentors the students through initiatives such as the TechNac Gaming Studio and a range of programming and cybersecurity events. With an ME degree in computer engineering and over a decade of academic experience, he has guided numerous undergraduate projects, and recently he has co-authored a book named Coding Companion, Elevating Learning Through an AI-Enhanced Code Editor. So this book explores the use of advanced artificial intelligence models to support novice programmers in learning core coding concepts. His professional interests include computing education, educational technology, and student-centric innovation. And he is actively contributing to faculty development, student progression, and institute level technical outreach at Don Bosco Institute of Technology. So once again, I welcome you, sir, Imran sir, and I'm handing over the mic to you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Prasad, for a very nice introduction. I hope I'm audible, Prasad.
Yes, yes, you are clearly audible, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So today I came with a plan where I intend to talk a little bit on how research can be co-authored or it can be done along with that of AI. So now I want to clear the context that we are going to experiment on a tool, and that particular tool is going to enable you to do research. And I have chosen a couple of application area in chemical engineering in order to demonstrate how AI and agentic AI can be used for doing research in chemical engineering. So research is a age-old area, and AI is something which has ventured into making and co-starring with the existing actor in order to make it more efficient and make it more accessible and at the same time more authentic and in a timely manner. So over a period of time, I'm wanting to share a couple of links with you, and I'm wanting you to experiment on a certain tool. So as we proceed, we will be going through some discussion, and at the same time, we will be also going through some links that I'm wanting to share on a chat, and that Prasad will share it with you. And you can go through that tool and you can experiment on that particular tool. So precisely, I have chosen to work on perplexity for experimentation. So if you look at the AI landscape and research in totality, then there is a sea change that has happened in the way research is being conducted, where AI has penetrated almost every aspect of our life. Research is no exception. And if you look at the trends and the opportunities and the challenges, then you'll find that AI has come very handy in terms of carrying out research, which I will also experiment. And chemical engineering is no exception. If you look at any domain of engineering or any domain of science, you will find that AI has reached every nook and corner, and it has carved a niche place, and that you will be able to vouch for after you have experimented on a couple of tools. So to give it a start, now automating is something that is a part of research, and at the same time you are using AI in order to make your job simpler. So AI doesn't replace your existing research or research methodology, or for that matter, the research workflow. What AI does is it augments, it eases your task, and it makes your job simpler. So if you go through the search process and the review process, you are wanting to read, like, what is the latest happening in a certain area in chemical engineering, and you are wanting to read hundreds of papers and do a summarization of it, and you are wanting to understand the trend that is there, or you are wanting to know what has happened in the last 3 to 4 years in the field of chemical engineering, then AI comes really handy. You're wanting to do some kind of a data analysis and you want to do it in real time, and you are wanting to model it and experiment on it. With AI, your job becomes more simpler, timely. Your reach becomes, like, global in terms of the access to the papers and in terms of the methodologies that that paper make use of. While you are wanting to write and edit your own research paper, it becomes all the more easier and it becomes all the more systematic and timely when you augment it with the use of AI tools. So my focus of discussion is primarily going to be how to conduct research using AI. And it can be any topic that you can choose, but precisely for this particular discussion, we are going to choose any topic in chemical engineering and see, like, how we can go through the process. So the process remains. It is not being taken over by AI. You are just augmenting your research process by using AI tools. So it is basically an human AI collaboration where you co-host AI, and AI does some part of it and you do the other part of it. It means AI is not replacing research. What AI is doing is basically AI is being used as an LLM. It is being used as a large language model, and precisely it can be very focused, very deep researched. So you can go for any tool and you can do a collaboration with AI in order to foster better results, in order to foster, like, a good literature survey, in order to foster a methodological and a very pragmatic, like, writing and editing. And at the same time, it's a methodological shift. So research is an area where AI is, like, has got a landscape. If you look at, like, AI tools that are being used in research, there are an array of them. And with that also comes, like, a lot of transparency, integrity, and, like, bias and fairnesses issues. Like, when you talk about using AI for research, then there are $1 million questions that need to be answered with respect to what are the AI biases and what is the fairness. And at the same time, if it is being done in an automatic manner, then is it really going to get you the desired results? So we are going to experiment with that, and we will see, like, how AI can be used in research. So setting the context, it is going to be co-starring. So what I mean by co-starring is you are the star, you are going to conduct the research, but you have got a co-star, and AI is your co-star, and AI is going to help you do all what you do in research, right from, like, doing literature survey to framing the research questions to, like, reading the papers to summarizing papers and analyzing and doing any kind of a modeling or data analysis and finding your own results and then writing the paper. All that you do in a normal research workflow, you are going to do the same thing, but you are going to do it along with a co-star, and your co-star is the AI, and you are going to make use of an AI tool. Am I audible and is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Prasad?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So if
Yes,
in
sir.
case, like, if you can rate my your understanding on the scale of 1 to 5, whether you have understood what is the context, then I would appreciate. So I don't know, like, whether I would be able to see your comment. Thank you so much, Swapan Chakraborty. So the context is clear. And what are the opportunities for your own research? So, like, when it comes to rapid scoping of reviews, like, you want to read hundreds of papers and you want to really find whether those papers are aligned to the research that you are wanting to do, and is that the real landscape in between a specific range of years, saying that you want to know what has really happened into chemical engineering, and for that matter into any very niche area from 2023 to 2025, and you also want to create some ideas around it, and you have some data, or you want some data regarding that particular niche area, and you want to do a code and a data cleaning, and you want to explore any exploratory modeling, and you want to draft some results around it, or you are wanting to take it from any native language and you want to translate it to some another language. That's all opportunities that you can do in your research using AI. So putting it, saying that the purpose of today's session would be understanding how AI can be a co-star along with you, where you are the researcher, and AI can help you do scoping, literature survey, framing the research questions, generating ideas, and doing some kind of a data cleaning or exploratory data modeling or drafting of your research paper or translating. So the ideas can be very wild, and you can do deep research using some tools in chemical engineering. So now there is a tool, and that particular, there are arrays of tools, but I have chosen Perplexity. So what Perplexity is? Perplexity is an AI tool which can be used for doing research. It is not just limited to doing research. It is basically like a Swiss knife. So what I'm talking about is only the knife, but the Swiss knife has got a whole lot of tools, and those tools can be used for performing a lot many things. So here we are not just considering Perplexity as a Swiss knife where you majorly focus on the knife part of it, but it has got many more tools. So Perplexity is a advanced language model. So if you look at any LLM like ChatGPT, LLM, Grok, LLM, they have got their own niche areas. Perplexity has also got some niche areas, like Perplexity can be used for research, Perplexity can be used for educators, Perplexity can be used for finance, Perplexity can be used for sports, Perplexity can be used for travel. So if you look at Perplexity, don't look at it as a research tool. It is a tool that is having deep research LLMs. It has also got LLMs related to sports. It has got LLMs related to education. So while you make use of Perplexity, your purpose is to make use of Perplexity for accessing a language model. So it is basically going to access tons of data, and it is not only going to access it from the web, but it is also going to access it through LLMs, and it is not going to just give you results. See, if you fire a query on a chat GPT, you would get results. But at the same time, you will not get citations. You will not get references that where these results are coming from. So like Perplexity has got a differentiator. It is not just similar to any other model like your chat GPT, where you give a question and you get a set of answers, and you also get some kind of leading questions. So that's not how Perplexity works. Perplexity works to some extent similar to that of any other AI tool, but it has got a distinction. What is the distinction is that it performs a real-time web search, and at the same time it is researching on a lot of LLMs. At the same time, there are very fine grained LLMs that are being made use of, and it is making use of advanced language models, and the answers are very comprehensive. At the same time, these answers are having a citation. It means your answers are not just answers at random, but it will also give you how this particular question has been answered along with. So it's not it is not going to give you just the answer, but it is also going to give you hundreds of sources from which this particular answer has been curated. So if you want to look at the authenticity of the answer, if you are wanting to deep dive and you want to do a deep research and you want to go to any specific paper from where this particular answer has been curated, you get not only the source, but many a times you actually get that research paper. You can download that research paper, and at the same time, you can deep dive into that paper by using Perplexity for deep research on that paper. So you can first do a surface level search, and then you can go to documents that you are interested, which you can download, which you can store, and at the same time, you will be able to experiment on it by doing a deep down research. And based on that, your thread or your process will learn on the questions that you have been asking. So if I say I choose a topic saying that I'm interested in knowing what are the niche areas of research in chemical engineering, and then I choose amongst that one of the topic, and then I further deep dive into it, and then I deep dive into it by selecting a couple of research papers, and then choosing those research papers, I can deep dive into those research papers. You will find that there is going to be a continuous improvement on the entire process with the thread that I am following. So that's what perplexity is, and why it matters is because research is a big gamut which involves, like, whole lot of activities, and it takes a lot of time. Though you can't say that AI replaces or AI is going to drastically reduce the time it takes for research. In many ways, it is going to reduce the time, it is going to give you accessibility to a lot of things, and it is going to automate a lot of things for you. At the same time, it has got its own risk, it has got its own challenges, and the act is that you need to understand that when you use a AI tool for doing research, then you also need to go into the depth of it by reading the papers. That doesn't, like, eliminate, but it reduces the effort, it reduces the time, and you get answers which are also cited. It means you will find that every question that is being answered by Perplexity comes curated with a list of citations. It means what particular sources have been used for answering that particular question. So it really matters because, like, in a world where we are living, part of our research is going to be done by industry, and LLMs are going to focus on a lot of, like, modeling, and it is going to help us in doing a lot of insight generation, where at the same time on an academic end we are going to be focused on more of the conceptual and the hardcore matter. So what happens is that this is a two-tone theory where, like, some part of it is being done by LLM and some part of it is being done by the academia. So it's basically a blend of, like, industry offering us a lot of LLMs where we can experiment on that, and we keep engage ourselves with the core research, with the fundamentals and the conceptual theory and the matter that we are interested in. So it really matters, like, that how we can make best use of the AI tools and LLMs in order to make our research more authentic, and at the same time it is going to be more impactful and insightful. So I'm going to take you through a lot of prompts that we need to fire on it. But to set the context right, why you want a AI tool? See, the use of AI tool is when you are doing research, you have got hundreds and thousands of people that you are referring to. And you really have to read through all the papers, and you need to connect, and you need to find, like, the sources, and you need to find the best citations, or which are the highly cited papers. And you would want to know which are the best unanswered questions and all. For that matter, this entire task can be automated. Why? Because there is a real-time internet search. If you look at, like, any topic in chemical engineering, you can choose that topic and you can fire a query to the LLM, and that LLM does a real-time internet search. Now, internet search doesn't mean that it is going to search only the web pages or it is going to search the PDFs. Along with that, it is going to make use of an AI model, that is any LLM, which is going to condense this particular entire network of web pages and PDFs, and it is going to curate complex data into digestible answers, and it is going to make things much more faster. If you are looking at any databases specifically, if you are looking at any specific research questions, then it will curate the data using the web pages, using the PDFs, using LLMs, and at the same time it provides you for a transparent references for verification. So anything that you want to verify, you can go to its source, because the answer in Perplexity doesn't come as an answer, but it also coming with a lot of references. And there are, like, diverse task supporting various activities like, Perplexity, as I said, is a Swiss knife. It's not just only for research, but you can do a lot of things. Like while doing research, if you want to know what are the areas in which, like in a specific domain, what are the patents that have been filed. So you are doing research at the same time. You can also find which are the patents that have been filed. You can get details of all the patents, and you can find which are the patents that can be filed. So if you look at Perplexity, it is a platform which allows you to get answers, and answers curated well with all citations, and it is also going to give you references to all the papers that it has referred while it has curated the answer. So, and if you look at the user feedback, I would say that Perplexity is a highly rated tool, and it is a co-star along with you as a star for performing research using Perplexity. So moving on, I would want you all that if you can go to internet, and you can browse something that is called as Perplexity AI. So if you can go to internet and browse something like Perplexity AI, let me check that I can stop the sharing. Okay. Is that visible to you all?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
thank you,
it is
sir.
visible.
Thank you so much. So what you can do is, like, on Google, you can search for Perplexity. Once you are done for searching for Perplexity, you just need to, like, click on Perplexity. So it will, I want you all to, like, experience this. And for that, I'm going to send you. This is the thing that you need to, Prasad will send you a text, or he is going to send you an URL. What you have to do is you just need to go to that particular URL, and it will ask you to create an account. Now you can make use of your Gmail account, and you can go with Perplexity. Are you all there?
Yes.
Prasad, have you got that URL?
Can you send to me also, sir? Ramesh
Uh,
Bhante. I have
Ramesh,
sent.
sir. Yeah, yes, sir. 1 second, sir.
My number is there with you.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yes, yes, I got it. I got it.
Hey, Ramesh, sir, I'm doing it with you as well. Okay. So, dear participants, like, if you have got that particular URL, I want you all to, like, go to that particular URL. Once you click on that URL, go to Google and type perplexity.ai in case if you are using your laptop, or else if you're not using your laptop, even you can go to your Play Store and you can find for Perplexity, and you will get an app. So it's fine if you're using a mobile, and you can go to Perplexity and you can install that app, and you can use your Gmail account. And at the same time, it is fine if you can, like, if you want to make use of your laptop, and you can go to perplexity.ai. So with that, if the screen is visible, I would want to show you. So when you go to Perplexity, it offers you, like, academic license, where, like, if you are an educator, you get to exercise an account where you will get free access to a pro account. Now, in general, if you go to Perplexity, the first thing that you will find is, like, set sources for search. If you look at set sources for search, then you will get these sources. So it can go to your Google Drive. You can switch on, you can go to web, you can go to finance, you can go to Gmail. Your Gmail account can be completely, like, searched. Your Google Drive can be completely searched, and you can switch on all of them. And at the same time, you can have more sources that you would want to make use of while you are doing the searches. So if you want to go to Dropbox, you can go to GitHub, you can go to Jira, you can go to Microsoft Teams and whatnot. So first thing is that you can choose what sources that you want to search for. Second is you can choose a model. So when you talk about LLMs, like, there are different companies and different enterprises having their own models. So you will find that there are many models like Grok, then you have got Kimi, you have got Cloud Sonnet, you have got GPT 5.2, you have got Gemini, you have got Gemini 3 Flash, and you have got Sonar, and then you can make use of whatever LLM model that you are wanting to make use of. Then if you look at what are the files that you can deep dive into? You will find that you can deep dive into all your local files. You can go to Google Drive and you can also connect files using any file servers. So you see, like, a lot of analysis can be done. And if you look at, can you use audio for searching? Yes. And now I come to what are the different domains. If you look on the left side of it, you can go to patents. So if you are doing anything related to patents, you can just go to patents and you can fire any damn query about any patent that you want to know about, saying you want to know what are the recent patents filed from 2023 to 2025 by Intel in the area of semiconductor, and what are the patent details and all. The way you want to get into it is endless. You want to go to sports, you want to go to academics, any kind of an academic activity, whether it is creating your lessons plans or doing any kind of a PPT or creating flashcards and whatnot. It's simply using a model. You can do that. You can go to travel, you can go to finance, you can spaces. So you can create spaces. What is a space? A space is like, a area where you can decide doing a research and you can collaborate with other researchers. So what you do is you create a space, you invite people, they join, and then whatever you do in that space is accessible to all of them. So these are basically the verticals. So if you look at it as a Swiss knife, it is going to be having a knife. It is going to have, like, all that tools that Perplexity has got. So our basic requirement today is we are going to be doing much on research part of it. And at the same time, once we are done with that, then we will see what other spaces are there. So if you look at it, so if you want to do a research on a specific topic, then you can ask a question and you see that you will get answers. You will get links from where those answers have come. You will get all images related to that. So if I want to create a new thread, I can create a new thread by doing this, and I have got this new thread that I can have, right? And likewise. So these are the things that we can do using Perplexity. So you can do any deep down research, right? So let me come to the presentation and choose a couple of things. Okay, so coming back to the presentation, I have given you an overview saying that Perplexity is a tool and that can be used, but how it has to be used depends on your own abilities and your own interest and the scoping that you are wanting to create around it. So it's a tool basically, and you can use the features. So if you look at it, what are the features? It has got a mobile application, it has got basic features, it has got a feature called as focus feature. So if you want to deep dive into any research application, then you have got a focus feature. You have got a pro search. You can do a search on a document. You can do on a Google Drive. You can do it on a Gmail Drive. You can do it on any kind of a file server. It can do a research on the available web pages, and you can have got multimodal queries that you would want the answers on. Now, if you look at it, in the entire gamut of things, like, there is a lot about accuracy and there is a lot about hallucination. So if you look at any answer that ChatGPT produces, then ChatGPT also does a lot of errors, and those are the hallucinations that the LLM model has got. But to my experience using Perplexity, the amount of hallucination that is there using Perplexity is much lesser compared to that of your any other LLM model. The reason being, it is going to cite all the sources. You can go into the depth of any paper and any kind of a limitation. And there are many source biases and coverage graphs. There are ethical concerns when it comes to making use of such kind of a approach. And there are copyright and intellectual property issues, and that will stay. Then over reliance and erosion of the critical thinking, that if you are basically driven only by the tool. So I have very rightly said in the beginning, saying there is a co-star approach. AI is your co-star and you are the star. So there can be a lot of chances where, like, the LLMs can hallucinate. But at the same time, with experience, you will learn that what tool is hallucinating lesser than compared to any other tool that you are making use of. So how to make use of perplexity? So while you want to make use of perplexity, there are step-by-step approach. The very first step that you have already done is that you have either access to perplexity.ai using a web page or the web application, or you can go to a mobile app, or you can download the app for perplexity, or you can use it using the browser. Now, after that, you have to enter the query. Now, query can be any specific question that you put in the search bar, the way you put it in Google or you put it in ChatGPT. Once that query is entered into the taskbar, you have got answers, and these answers are generated and curated by using all sources that you have set in Perplexity. So it can go to web, it can go to file servers, it can go to your Gmail account, it can go to anything. And at the same time, it is going to make use of LLMs for curating the answers. Answers are going to be organized with respect to the way you have questioned, and at the same time it will give you all citations where the answers are generated from. Now the best thing that you can do is that you can verify all the sources. You can go to any of the cited link, you can check for the original source, you can download the paper, or at the same time you can go to that particular site, you can verify the authenticity of it. And for every answers that are being generated, you can provide a feedback. So if you give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, then the LLM is going to alter its approach. Based on your thumbs up or a thumbs down, it is going to ask you a follow-up question. And based on the follow-up question, you can alter your query and organize your search in order to manage your research better. So if you look at that, it is a 7-stage process. First, you access the platform. Second, you enter a query. Third, after entering the query, you get answers with the citations, and then you can go to the source and verify those sources. While you have read those sources, you can deep dive by providing some feedback, and at the same time, LLMs will help you by giving you a direction by posing relevant questions to continue the conversation, and then you can organize your searches in this manner. So taking this particular discussion forward, while you understand that this is a tool, if you want to know what are the major themes in X literature, so like, I would want to ask Perplexity a question. Like, one sec. Okay, coming back to Perplexity, like, what are the what are the recent niche research happening in chemical engineering? Use only papers from 2023 to 2025. Give a summarized report. If this is the query that you make, then you say you are wanting to dive into it. Unlike ChatGPT, you will find that this is going to be precisely doing a search in between 2023 and 2025, which is a very tightly focused thing. And it is going to do it on cutting areas like energy, material, environment, and digitization. At the same time, you will see that it is citing all the sources that it is using for doing the curating of your answers, and you can go to all those sources, and you can also refer to all the papers and the references that you are looking at. So if you look at the answer, you will find it is going to be First thing is electro-driven and intensified process. Second is green nanotechnology and advanced. So for every answer that it is producing, it is also giving you citations saying what are the areas from which these results have been curated. So anything that interests you, if you are doing a very broad search on what are the niche areas into it, then you can basically go to any specific niche saying you are interested in biohybrid and bioprocess systems. You go to that and you can simply go to any of the citations. You are looking at bio batteries, you go to any of the citations, and to that citations you can go and click on it. It will take you to that particular paper, or it is going to take you to that particular site. So if so these are like, smart separations and solvent systems, digital AI native chemical engineering, so circularity, fine chemicals and distributed manufacturing. So if you look at them, then you can basically go to any of the citations, so frontier application domains, and simply you will find that all the sources are listed. So if you look at this 15 sources, you click on them and it will give you the list of all the sources. So you will find that this answer has been curated from this particular sources. Now, if you want to deep dive and you want to go into any specific area, or you want to search for any specific paper, you can definitely go to that. Saying if you want to go to this chemical process engineering new frontiers PAS journal, it will take you to that particular journal. And from there, if you want to search a paper, you can take a paper and you can move on. So basically, we would not do that. What we can do is we can say this is how you reach to the sources. And if at all you want to create a PDF or you want to create a doc file out of it, you can definitely do that. Like, for all your sources and for all your answers, you can have got this export thing or all your results as a PDF or export it as a docx. So whatever you do, you will be able to take the trace of it, and that trace can stay for 1 month. So suppose you create a new thread, and this particular thread you want to be doing research on some area, then you name this thread, and this thread is going to be there for you till you are doing that particular research. And it will also learn, saying today you ask a couple of questions and then tomorrow you have altered your set of questions, and you do a progression and you make use of AI as a co-star and a co-tool, and then you keep on navigating your research. This particular thread stays with you and it is going to learn from your pattern, your behavior. It is going to learn from the papers, it is going to learn from the LLMs, and that's how you progress your research. Coming back to our discussion, right, this PPT that I want to share with you, 1 second. Well, so if you are interested in doing anything like a preliminary scanning, then you can ask questions like what are the major themes in X literature. The X can be anything like chemical engineering or fashion technology, or it can be anything like mountaineering or whatnot. So you can ask questions which are the major themes. You can also say what gaps are there in the Y field since 2018. And at this stage, you accept the output tentatively and you plan deep dives, saying that okay, that's what you get as a source that you want to study from. And then you can do the source verification. You can also put outliers, or you can put limitations, like you want to search it within a specific number of years, you want to specifically go for Q1 journals, or you want to go for any specified criteria. You can go through that. So better results with Perplexity AI, you will find that you will have got optimal response quality achieved through precise and contextual queries. The better your queries are, the more focused your queries are. So I'll choose an area with time. I will choose an area in chemical engineering, and we will take it through the entire workflow of research and find how we get to the sources, how we go from one stage to another by using those particular resources. So if you look at why Perplexity can help you, it can give you a whole lot of perspective by asking the right set of questions, yielding better results. and there can be a lot of contextual clarity and the background information. You can cut a lot of unrelated information that you are not wanting to read, and you can do a focus research by targeting a specific source of information. And there can be a personalized query thread that you can create, and you can tailor strategies around it, or you can create spaces where co-researchers can come and they can work on a pool of data, or they can work on a specific LLM, or they can work on a specific area. So that is what Perplexity as a tool offers you. While you are wanting to do research, you need to actually go and do a critical review of the material that you get. You do a full text reading and you do a critical review, so that reading part and understanding and summarizing part can also be automated. By not reading the paper is not a substitute, but at least narrowing down your area and narrowing down your set of papers, or summarizing at least 50-20 papers, and creating a summary around it, or evaluating what methods, what designs, and what are the strength and the weakness that those paper or that particular research areas have got, or those authors have proposed, can very well be done in a very short time. And you can build your own notes and critics, which you would also normally do, but using AI tools that can all be intensified and that can be very fast paced. And then while you do the writing of your thesis or you are writing your papers, Perplexity can generate a whole lot of drafting, and with the array of bodies and having different standards for writing papers, AI can definitely help you follow the guidelines of paper writing for specific conferences. While you make use of AI, you can cater to a whole lot of regulatory things that you are looking forward to when you are creating thesis and you are creating your research papers. So asking Perplexity to summarize or synthesize, uh, there are human-centric questions like what are the methodological limitations of these studies. So you don't have to actually read through all papers. What you can do is you can upload a whole lot of papers and ask Perplexity very focused questions. And at the same time, if you want to know out of 5-10 papers, what are the disagreement in the literature, you upload all those 5-10 papers and ask very specific focus questions and compare the outputs. And then you can raise those summaries and you can find what are the strength, weakness, and what are the areas that you are basically interested in. Now, for example, if you want to look at you want to write a master thesis on remote learning and student engagement post COVID. So if this is what is you are interested in, hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Prasad,
sir.
am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So if this is something that you are interested in, this scenario you can choose and you can post this particular question to Perplexity, and Perplexity can take you from a question to a draft, and you can use this as a Swiss knife. You can use different tools. You can go deep dive and you can find answers to your questions. So, for example, I want to do a cursory scan on this specific topic during COVID, then I can say what are the major themes and gaps in literature on remote learning and student engagement from 20 to 25. It will give you all the highly cited papers. You can download all the papers, access them, and you can summarize them. You can use the data that is there in the paper, and for specific papers, you can deep dive. You can understand what methodologies that they make use of, what are the research questions around it, and you can write and cite and you can review and you can get key insights by reducing the time and being authentic, as well as having a whole range of landscape where you can choose from different time zones, papers, and all you have got is access to a gold mine. But it also comes with a limitation. So if you look at limitations of Perplexity AI, then for any AI tool, there are going to be hallucination in specialized topics. When you go more deeper and dive more deeper, you will find that accuracy can be questionable. There can be broken links, and there can be inconsistency, and there can also be varied result based on the source quality. So that doesn't mean that you are not going to make use of an AI tool. If you start using these AI tools for doing research, you'll find that your journey is going to be much more faster, and at the same time, it's going to be more authentic, very focused, and at the same time, it is going to be very fruitful. So what I have done is I have attended the key talk given by Principal Dr. Thampi. And while he was talking about AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, what I thought is that I will choose this as a case study of using Perplexity in order to research on this topic. What are the current research that are happening in AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development? You all may differ from me and you can choose any other topic to experiment on. So what I will do, I will give you some prompts and I'm going to share it on WhatsApp with Prasad sir. And you can check it in Perplexity by just changing the topic. So in a square bracket, my topic is going to be AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development. So if you have any other topic in the area of chemical engineering, you just need to replace this topic and you need to start using Perplexity for that and you will get different results. So if you are making use of your laptops or you are making use of your phone and you are choosing and copying and pasting this particular prompts onto Perplexity, then you will find that our results are going to be different, but the workflow and the path that we take is going to be common. So taking this particular discussion forward, I want to define a research scope by saying I want to define a research scope by defining my boundary, saying that I want to know how does AI impact the pesticide and fertilizer development. So I'm not really like, getting into any deep focus area as of now. I just want to know what are the key research areas and recent publications from 2023 to 2025 on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development. And I also want that it should include academic journals, industry report, and emerging frameworks. So what I can do is I can take this particular prompt. So to me, I will take this particular prompt saying, what are the key research areas? One second. What are the key research areas and recent publications from 2023 to 2025 on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development? Include academic journals, industry reports, and emerging frameworks. So what I do is I choose this as my search query. So here I am time ranging it. So with respect to prompting, I am giving it a range of 2023 to 2025. The source type that I am looking for is peer review journals and industry reports, and the language that I'm choosing is English. So once I choose that, I need to come back to my Perplexity prompt.
Sir, Imran sir,
Yes, sir.
not see your window.
Yeah,
Now,
is that visible? No, no, that is going to be visible.
okay.
With that, I am sharing this particular prompt with Bande sir, as well as I am sending it with Prasad sir. Okay.
I will post it.
Bande sir and Prasad sir, if you can share it on the chat box,
I
what
will
can
post
happen is, sorry.
Okay, I will
Yeah.
post it.
Yes, thank you so much. So what you can do is you can take this as a prompt and you can experiment on it. What you have to do is you just need to change the topic. So instead of enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, you can choose AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development. You can choose anything else. So I come back to my thing, and on the prompt, I'm going to use this. So what are the key research areas? What are the key research areas and recent publication in 2023 and 2025 on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development? Include academic journals, industry reports, and emerging framework. And with that, I'm good to go. So the moment I say it is going to take some time, it is going to read the entire web. It is going to go to a specific LLM. So you will see that it is also citing all the resources. So it is citing resources like it is checking AI in Agriculture, a strategic guide 2025 to 2030, revolutionizing the fertilizer industry through strength. So this is a science publishing group, Science Direct, and Government of India sites it is going through, and it is taking a predictive framework using advanced machine learning and artificial intelligence and how AI precision reduces chemical usage. And if you look at it, it is searching a lot of resources, and at the same time your answers will be curated just in time by expanding the search and additional queries and using generative model in agriculture. So you will find that it is referring to all highly rated academic journals. It is making use of LLMs, and finally it will create and curate an answer. So with that, what happens is you get a lot of though it is going to take a little more time for the result. So once the result is there, then I'll be able to take you through. So it is taking you through AI transformers, neural networks in crop protection and pesticide. It is taking you through smart delivery systems for pesticide, biofertilizers and all. So when I say it is going to be doing very deep research, it is going to make use of a lot of LLMs for doing a lot of data mining, and it is going to go through a lot of papers and various industrial reports and various industry standards, and finally it is going to come up with the results, though it is going to take a little time. So if you look at once the results are there, we'll come back to it. By then, let us, and it is also going to prompt you once the results are there. So I'll just take you through the next thing. On that, if you are doing a very comprehensive literature mapping, then you would want to say, I want to create a comprehensive literature review on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, identifying the 20 most cited publication in the last 3 years, summarizing their key findings and methodologies, and providing complete publication details like author, journal, year, and organize the results by recurring themes like technology, architecture, business application, organization, adoption, risk and ethics, and highlighting the theoretical framework. So now I have chosen that I am going to go a little deep. But before I go deeper, I would want to take you back to what Perplexity has done for us. Right. One second. Okay. Well, if you come back, okay. So this is what we have gone through. So it is still in the process of deep diving and searching additional queries on IoT sensors, blockchain, traceability, satellite imaging for AI in agriculture and all. Though it may take some time based on what internet connection that you are making use of, but at the same time, you can go to all links that, and you can go to all the links. I mean, these are all the links that it has gone through, and it is going to give you an answer. These answer may take a little time, and it is still in the thinking and reviewing of the resources, and finally once it has done with that, it will curate a very fantastic report for you, and you can go through that report. So as you start doing your research, you can do a very brief, a very broad kind of a query, and you can narrow down to any specific thing. So if you want, it is also suggesting you, do you want to narrow down to only 2023 25 publications, or you want to go for anything like comparing the journal versus industry reports? So it is going to give you a lot of suggestions. So once the result is there, it is still in the process. Once the result is there, you get a complete report, you get all the links. Based on the links, you can go to any specific PDF, download that PDF, and you can, suppose if I'm interested in this, I go to this particular link, I can download this, and finally I can deep dive into it by taking that specific paper, and likewise so and so forth. So there are 14 steps that are completed. If you look at it, it has taken 14 steps. It has created a report on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, key research areas and recent publication in the year 2023 and 2025. So here comes the executive summary, and at the same time, it gives you resources from or citations from where this executive summary is generated. It is giving you the rising global AI in agriculture market graph. At the same time, it is giving you generative AI for pesticide development, and it is giving you all the citations. So if you look at it, there are various domains at which it has done a research on, saying industry implementation strategies, AI enhanced fertilizer optimization, and precision nutrient management thing. So this particular is with all resources. You can see that it has come with all the citations, and if you want to go to any citations, you will be able to access that report, and you will be able to download that at the same time. So you see that the entire prompt has been answered along with taking and data from all the LLMs, from all the papers and from the web, and it has curated a fantastic report considering what we have asked in the prompt. So AI for real-time processing and integration with sensor networks and IoT and all. So you can bound it by going for, because I had a very unbounded query saying that I wanted to do a very broad research on 2023 and 25 with respect to what's happening in AI and pesticide, and that's the reason it has chosen so much of domain area. It is talking about the market size, the population, it is talking about technology, it is talking about the challenges and the future directions, and at the same time it is giving you all the citations. So if you read it, or else you can copy this report. You don't have to actually read this report. What you can do is you can simply go to this report by going to the answers. You can go to the top of it. You can download this report, and this can be downloaded in PDF. It can be downloaded in Word, and you can deep dive and you can take it to any level. So it is going to give you all based on the query that you are. So basically, while you are making use of AI, you need to know that the questions that you ask, the prompts that you create, or for that matter, the outliers that you create, or for that matter, the insight that you want to generate basically depends on the questions that you ask. Now, taking it further, I choose to query the same on the same thread. I would want to go by the second thing, saying creating a comprehensive list of literature review on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, identifying the 20 most cited article published in the last 3 years, summarizing their key findings with providing complete publication details like author, journal, year, organize the result by recurring themes like technology, architecture, business application. If you look at it, though we won't be able to fire every query because of paucity of time, what you can do is I will share this, and then you can experiment on this by doing at your end. So what can happen is, I take this as a first query. I'm passing it on to Prasad. If you are making use of Perplexity, kindly change the topic. If you are interested in any other topic, you can keep the prompt as is. By instead of using AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, you can choose any other area of research that you are interested in.
Sir,
Like, sir, boliye.
can I ask one question?
Yes, sir, sure.
Supposed to be AI is there. Some elsewhere or ACS publication, they are paid versions of the journals.
Yes.
They only the abstract is accessible. Can
Yes.
they have the access of the full paper, software having the full paper access? So for the
Sir,
review,
yes, sir, tell me.
because this is openware, so AI is openware, so they pick up the data available on the server or literature. But the
Right.
ACS and elsewhere, they do not permit to go to the. They are the paid versions of the paper. We
Very
cannot
true. Very
sometimes.
true. Very true. Very true.
How the perplexity using that papers then for the
See,
detail?
I'll tell you, Perplexity may not be able to give you a direct access to papers which are paid ones. But if you identify saying that I want the DOI, I want the author, and I want the details of a specific paper, a specific area of papers, I want details of it, that's going to be metadata. Then if you can get access to that paper, Perplexity can take that paper and you can upload it onto Perplexity and ask relevant questions onto that particular paper. Saying if you have got access to a very a technical paper which is very highly cited, what you can do is, instead of reading the entire paper, or you get 5 to 10 papers which are very highly cited in a specific research area, where Perplexity can give you access to open literature. But at the same time, if you have got access to a certain paper, you can upload that paper onto Perplexity, and you can have 5, 10 papers uploaded, and you can do a comparative study of that paper with one click. You can create prompts that can tell you what are the debatable issues, what are the controversial issues, what are the issues that the authors agree on. So that's how Perplexity can help you if you can give access to the paper. But Perplexity by itself will not give you access to papers which are paid. You will have to source that papers, and Perplexity can take that papers and
So
it
they are
can.
from the
Yes, sir.
abstract. I think they are searching from the abstract and give the reference of that paper related to our.
Many times it will get access to papers as well, which is openly accessible. There are very highly cited papers which are accessible to public domain as well. So if it doesn't get access to a paid paper, it gets access to highly cited papers. Saying that if you want, I do understand that it can hallucinate if it is only having an access to the abstract, if it
Yeah,
doesn't have an access to the entire data. But we can have various ways and means of reaching to the objective of doing a research by using Perplexity. Definitely your question is very valid, that it has to have access to data.
yeah, yeah.
Right. So
So,
if in case if it is a paid paper, then you will have to have access to it. But Perplexity can take that paper and do a deep down research based on your prompts and your queries.
okay, if you are in the paper, then we can upload to the Perplexity. Then we can
Yes,
get.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. So
Uh,
and we'll also see how you can do that.
okay.
If you don't have access to a paper, and how you can do it when you have access to a paper.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask?
Yes, sir. Sure.
So for any production of any particular chemical in an industry, we do so much research about its manufacturing processes and
Right.
all that. So
Right.
can this AI model or Perplexity can help us
100%.
to
100.
find out various, but it is like some are on the let's say every process is not on the industrial level.
Right.
So can it distinguish based on various types of data available?
Right.
And
Yes, it can. If you are interested in what are the patents filed in the year 2023 to 25 in the area of AI in pesticide and fertilizer, then it can take you to the specific patents. If you want to study what are the limitations of that patents, or what are the challenges and opportunities around it, you can definitely do that. I'll take you through that. But let me complete this particular prompts for a while. I'll take 2 to 3 more prompts, and post that I'll take you to that patents thing, and I'll come nearer to your question, saying that how can you get to do it in chemical engineering, right? May I?
yes, of course. Thanks
Okay.
for replying.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So if you look at it, so that was your second prompt, saying that comprehensive literature mapping. If you want, then to go a little deeper into it, identify the research gaps. Now, when you want to identify the research gaps, you can create a prompt like analyze the current research landscape on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development. Identify the specific research gaps or unexplored questions. So as a researcher, you may be interested in tapping into area which is yet not tapped. There can be specific methodological limitations in the existing studies. You are wanting to identify any geographic blind spots, what's recent and trending in India, or you can have any outlier, or you can have an inclusion, or you can find what are the contradictory findings requiring resolution, or emerging areas that are under research. For gaps, suggest a research question that could address it. So if you take this as a prompt and go to Perplexity, and you I'm going to put it on a WhatsApp. What you can do is you can change the prompt if you want to. You can change the area of the prompt, and you can keep the prompt as is. And if you are making use of Perplexity, kindly go to that and you will find, okay, you can find results, and these results can be very, you may not agree with all the results, but you will have leading questions, and that leading questions can take you nearer. So that's what so this query I'm not firing, but you can fire this query at your end. And at the same time, because we need to move forward. anything that you have to do, understanding what research methods are most effective in this domain. So like, you can analyze research methodologies used in 15 plus recent studies on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, identify the most commonly used methodology, whether it is case studies, surveys, experiment, or meta-analysis, identify the strength and weakness of each approach, and examples of high impact studies using each method. While you fire this query, it will not only create a well rounded answer to this, but it will also give you all the citations. It will summarize it for you. It can give you a breakthrough. It can take you through leading answers. So that is a methodological analysis that you can go ahead with. And at the same time, like taking next, if you want to do a very critical evaluation, as sir was asking, saying that there is a limitation that you may not get access to papers. But if you have got access to papers, then you can do a critical evaluation of papers by uploading all those papers onto Perplexity and analyzing it with respect to the methodological strength and weakness patterns, common limitations with respect to the sample size constraints, generalizability issues, cultural contextual gaps, contradictory findings and possible explanations, and overall evidence for quality assessment, biases in the literature or evolving trends, and including specific examples from 5 to 10 high impact studies. So it may not give you access to all papers that you may want, but if you have got access to those papers, what you can do is you can take that particular papers and use Perplexity for doing an in-depth research. So that's what it can help you doing. So this is a prompt that I'm sharing, like, in case if you have got access to the resources, what you can do is you can experiment on this particular prompts. At the same time, you would get citations, you will get access to resources. Right. So can we move on? Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you can do a methodological analysis of it, and at the same time, you can do a critical evaluation of it, and then you can organize and synthesize. So if you want to consolidate for your own paper or you for your own thesis based on your previous analysis, see, these all things come in a thread. So whatever I have been doing, though I have not executed most of the prompts, but the moment I execute these prompts, what happens is this comes as a learning to the LLM. This comes as a learning to Perplexity, and at the same time, it is going to curate content based on my previous history. If I have been doing this for the last 1 month, it will take my history of last 1 month, the questions that I have created. It will also tailor the answers based on my history, based on the papers that I have been referring to. Based on my previous analysis, it will create a structured literature review. So if I want to organize and synthesize, I can put a query saying based on my previous analysis, create a structured literature review. Outline for a research paper on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, organized by themes like foundational concept, business applications, AI specific context, implementation challenges like governance, ethics, and organizational change. Emerging opportunities and future research direction. For each section, list 3 to 5 key papers and their specific contributions. Finally, articulate where your unique research contribution fits in this landscape. Based on, see, the queries that you do on AI has to be very context sensitive, and it has to be very focused, and it has to be done in a manner that your relationship with your AI engine is going to be very personal, based on it understands your behavioral pattern. It understands the words that you are making use of. So the more focused, the more precise, the more context aware, the more toned it is with respect to saying the framing of your prompt, then it will give you definitely results in the tone, in the sentiment, and at the same time in a behavior that you are questioning. So when you say you want only 3 to 5 key papers, it will only check with 3 to 5 key papers with their specific contribution. So it's not going to be wild. It's going to be very precise. It's going to be very precise. So this is how you can do an organization and a synthesis. Then if you want to deep dive into the critical papers, saying that after going through that, you have identified your key research area and you have also read through 5 to 10 papers, or you have identified that what is the niche area that you are wanting to go ahead with, then you can take all those papers, you can extract those papers and do a core research question and an hypothesis. So if you want to know that what is the hypothesis that you want to set for these 10 papers that you are wanting to take forward, and the exact methodology and the sample characteristic and key findings by limitations stated by the authors, and how this connects to AI, enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, and what conclusion this paper suggests for AI implementation, highlighting the contradiction with other recent research topics or areas. Then you can collect all these papers, you can upload this paper to Perplexity, and you can ask to frame an hypothesis, you can ask to frame a research question. At the same time, you can ask what methodologies will be suitable for this particular research questions and how it connects to your core research. Now, this, as I already said, is not a fully automated process, though your summarization and creating of your research questions and creation of your hypothesis is going to be fully automated. You take all the papers, upload it, give the right prompt, it will create the research questions for you, it will create an hypothesis for you, it will also state the ethical limitations and the dilemma and impact of everything that you have considered. It is going to deep dive onto the critical papers. So that's how you get into the details. Now with that, as a thing, there are a lot of questions that might have popped onto your mind, saying that what is the citation accuracy? And there are a lot of tools like Gemini, Perplexity, and much alike Perplexity. Citation accuracy, you will find that Perplexity has got a superior citation accuracy, and there is a good content summary that it can create. That can be a good comparative analysis that it can do. And with respect to patent, it is also an excellent tool. And source verification is built in. If you look at ChatGPT and all, you can't verify the source. But with respect to Perplexity, you have got embedded citations. You can lower that down or you can take it up, and readability of the output is best. And it searches not only web, it also searches LLMs. It takes your own papers, and that's the way to go. So with that, one thing that I would want to bring to your attention is that there is a mix and match approach. So it is neither a fully automated thing nor it is a manual thing. But I can certainly say there is a divide. Industry is giving you a lot of LLMs, and you need to tap onto the wild power that AI has got to get your answers. At the same time, as a researcher or an academician, or for that matter, a thinker, you need to slow down the process and focus on the core and the fundamentals. So remember that AI is merely your co-star, and you are still the star of the show. It's not like that AI does everything for you, and nor it is that I do everything for curating my research and my thesis and all. It's going to be but I can definitely tell you for sure that 60% of your work can be uh, done by AI, and 40% of work, you can focus on the core, you can do your reading part of it, but a lot of things that you would want to exercise can be done with the help of AI. And Perplexity is one tool. There are many more tools that you can make use of. So if you want to do Perplexity AI search for academic research and you choose a case study, you can take literature review building as a step and create queries around it. You can have methodology explorer, create queries around it, right? And then you can take citation generator. If you want to have a report and you want to create citations around it, then it can work as a citation generator. And if you want to create a thesis and you have some standard guidelines, to feed that guideline to Perplexity, and it can write for you. Definitely, writing a clear grammatical thesis can be done, including a brief rationale and all. Though it is not a completely automated process, but it is an excellent resource which help structure and well argued thesis, including a solid introduction and a conclusion. And at the same time, if you want to formulate the hypothesis, you can make some hypothesis using AI, which can be testable, which can be proposed, and which has got like, variables that AI can suggest you based on the paper. So researchers can access reliable data sets. So if you want to access what are the data sets and online repository for a specific topic, saying for AI in fertilizer and chemical industry, if you want to know what are the data sets and where can you get this data, you have a simple, like, prompt that you can say identify reliable data sources or data sets for research on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, include list and description of their relevance. I am pretty sure if you prompt Perplexity for giving you data sets or giving you open data for doing research on this particular thing, it can be a best data source finder. So you can't, like, browse every possible web page. So what you can do is you can put a query, identify me reliable data sources or data sets for research. Because it takes time, that's the reason I am not experimenting on it. But I will leave this PPT with the organizers so that you can choose these prompts and you can choose your areas where you want to pitch, and then you can experiment with that on Perplexity. Academic presentation creator. So if you want to create a PPT, after all that you have done, if you want to create a PPT, then you can just give a prompt to Perplexity saying that I just want 10-minute presentation on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, including a good introduction and 3 key points and a perfect conclusion. It will choose all what you have been doing for the last 1 month on this particular topic, whatever documents that you have been browsing, whatever questions that you have been firing, whatever outputs the LLM has been generating, taking that as a repository, it will create a 10-minute PPT within no time. Within a minute, it will create 10 slides for you and you are ready to go. So that's like, what a tool like AI can tell you. So if I am interested in the ethical and, like, as a ethical research advisor, I want to make use of Perplexity. I can always use this particular prompt saying provide ethical consideration for conducting research on AI enhanced pesticide and fertilizer development, highlight all potential risks and how to mitigate them. So this leading questions, like, after you have done all your things like a literature survey, you have got the research questions, you have followed up on some papers, you have studied them, studied those methodologies and all, and you have been writing at the same time parallelly, and you find that there can be ethical issues because of the topic or making use of AI and all. AI itself can tell you, like, what are the ethical issues around it, choosing sources related to ethics in AI, and it can also give you a mitigation plan and what are the potential risks around it. And that's how, like, you can go about it. But given the flow, what we can do is we can again go back to the tool. We can again go back to the tool and you can see how we can further experiment on it. Now, for this particular thing, you take okay. So I'm again back to the Perplexity LLM. What you can do is go to more and you can go to patents. So when you have been asking about things like, I take something like patents. So when you are wanting to look at what are the different areas in which patents have been filed, or for that matter, I have chosen, like, see, when I choose patents, if you go to find, it is going to use a different LLM for, like, querying on patents. When I choose any other tool like sports or academics or travel or finance or anything, it is going to have a different pragmatic approach. So I'll take a query that I have, like, just a minute. Well, so here I come back. I'm wanting to identify all patents related to AI-powered pest detection and automated pesticide application system filed in the last 3 years, including patents that use machine learning, image recognition, or deep learning for identifying crop diseases or pest infestations, and those featuring precision spraying technology or targeted pesticide development. So the moment I fire this query, it is going to search for patents on AI powered pest detection, and it has reviewed 10 sources. It has come up with core AI pest detection patents that have been filed in the year between 2023 and 2026, and at the same time it is giving me all the citations. So if I'm wanting to know more about that patents, I can simply go to those citations, I can click on them, and if it is related to machine learning or whatever and whatnot, in case of predictive pesticide resistance and what, it is giving you patent numbers, it is giving you all in terms of what are the patents filed from 2023 to 2025. You can go to the sources, and once you click on any source, it will give you list the details of all the information regarding the filed patents, and it is also going to give you summaries to our query saying direct AI pest detection with image and ML detection, all the queries, and it is also going to give you leading questions. But if you want to say what are the key patents in machine learning based fertilizer optimization system since 2022? Yes, sir. Are there any questions?
You can be at the end of answer, no problem. I'm just testing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So give me a couple of minutes, like, I will go through that.
Yes,
And
sir.
once we are, yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
So I'll take up those questions.
Okay,
I'll take up those questions.
okay.
So if you take up, like, next question on patenting, saying what are the key patents in machine learning based fertilizer optimization system since 2022? Show me patents that cover soil nutrient prediction and like fertilizer recommendation, automated fertilizer dosage calculation, and real-time nutrient monitoring integrated with AI decision making algorithms. I give that and I get, like, access to all the patents. It is giving me all the citations, like, what are the sources that have been, if you look, if you're wanting to know what are the sources that it has been going through, these are the sources and these are the patents, and this is a summarization clearly mentioning, like, on AI and ML based fertilizer optimization, like what are the different patents that are there. And it can also, like, choose and map areas with respect to crop specific fertilizer recommendation, automated dosage calculation, and it is also grouping it with respect to the different domains, saying what are the patents related to automated dosage calculation, what are the patents related to real-time sensing and AI decision making. So you find that AI Perplexity as a tool, it will give you all the sources, and you can, like, follow a methodology, and you can definitely yield better results. Now, if like, I can go a little further in patents, like, you can deep dive. If you want on academics, you have to go to this academics tab and you go to this. Right. So you can go to this by saying in academics, you say create a 5 slide presentation. Right. So it is going to create a 5 slide presentation for me. Now the prompt that I have given, yes, the prompt that I have given is, like, create a 5 slide presentation. So you still need to answer a lot of questions. So my prompt is, like, not context specific. So I can give a context specific thing, like create a 5 slide presentation on a specific topic, and it will create a 5 slide presentation no matter what, like, you want to create a 5 slide presentation or you want to create any number of slides. So I'll take your questions a little later. So if I want to use it for travel, so, like, I can create a query saying that I am wanting to visit Bangalore for I'm wanting to visit Bangalore for a 3 day conference, uh, and I'm starting from Mumbai, will be there in Mangla in Bangalore. Suggest me best hotels. Suggest me best hotels with suggest me best hotels with price range of 7,000. Suggest me flights late night only. Then create a itinerary for three. Create an itinerary for 3 days. Put holy places also to visit. So if you look at it, it is going to browse through all websites which are related to travel, which are related to everything that you are firing as a query, and it is going to give you a curated 3 days itinerary where it will include late night flights. It is going to include hotels only near Koramangala. It is going to suggest the pricing range that is only below 7,000 or till 7,000, and it is going to create a 3 days itinerary. So that's how it's going to work for you. So we'll not go through the result of it, but if you create a query of those sort, it will take you through that. So far, are we there?
Yes, sir.
Anything that you want to move further, in finance, you can go finance as a tool. You can do any kind of a query that you are wanting to do on. Now, when I said you can choose 10 papers of your interest and you can deep dive into it, what you can do is you can go to your Google Drive. You can have a drive where you have got all your research material. You can go and you can go to your Google Drive. You can choose your local files. When you go to your local files, it gives you all the files. So let me choose a file. You take a file saying in HTTP. Okay. Oh, so what you can do is I'm not having any specific file that I may be very keen on to do an analysis. But what you can do is you can go to this particular attached file thing. You can go to local files or you can go to Google Drive. The moment you go to Google Drive, it will have an access to your drive. So now it has got access to my drive. I can go to my drive and choose any drive, any folder in which there are 10 to 20 or 100 papers, upload all of them, and I can have all my questions answered. So that's how I can move on. And when you say you can connect files, you can go to any file streaming servers like Dropbox and you can connect those files, ask relevant questions. So there is also an thing that is called as an idea lab. So you can create projects from scratch. You have got this as an academic. So if you want to do research, you want to do deep research, you want to go to the curating of ideas, you can go to academics. You can upload your files or you can do a voice query, and there are spaces that you can create. If you look at this, these are spaces. So what spaces are is I can create a new space, and this new space is going to be my research space where I can invite people to collaborate. So if I want, I can create this new space, give it a name. I can add the files, I can add the links, I can add the instructions, I can add tasks. So what are tasks? If I want to analyze a couple of papers and I have very specific questions that I want to be answered, but I don't want it to be just in time. I want it to be answered at a specific time at a specific day, and I want it to be shared as a PDF in my email, what I can do is I can create a task. So I can say simply create a task, describe what the task is, and you can have a notification platform where I want the notification. You want it in the app, you want it in your email, you want it in your mobile. At the same time, you can choose what models that you want to make use of, like, and what are the sources that you want to query, whether you want to make use of finance or academics or social or any more sources that you want to go to, saying you can make use of Jira or you can make use of Microsoft Teams or whatever and whatnot. And you can also choose the model, whether you are doing a deep research, you are doing an academic research, or you're doing lab, or like, you're doing finance, and you can schedule a task. So you can name that task and you can choose the date and the time, whether it is once or periodic. So every week I want to know what's the latest thing that's happening in AI in pesticide and fertilizer. So I have a prompt and I have, like, the date and the time, and I create a prompt and I create a query and I create a task around it. I simply submit the task in my email ID on that designated day and time. I will get the result in a PDF form or a Word form, whatever you choose. So that's how, like, you can add tasks, you can add instructions, and you can collaborate. You can invite people and you can have them work on a co-research. Your co-researchers can come and they can, like, make use of this space as a thing. And at the same time, whatever I have been doing, I have all the threads. I have all the threads means, if I have chosen to do, like, identify in any specific thing, you can create a thread. The moment I create a thread, this thread is going to be there in the library and it is going to be there for the next 1 month. So whatever is happening, you will always, like, have that particular thing. So in my thread, like, I have done, I want a visit to Bangalore and all that. This is a thread, and creating a 5 slide presentation, that is a thread. So that's how I am having all my queries in the form of a threads in a library. So these are the spaces and all, and I can easily create a new thread whenever I'm wanting to. So that's how, like, I come to introducing you to this particular tool. And at the same time, now is the time that I'll try to answer a couple of questions of yours. If uh, if at all, like, you have experimented, then you might have understood the power of, like, an AI tool. And it's not about perplexity. You have got array of tools. A perplexity is one of them. And like, you have got Research Rabbit, you have got a Paper Pal, and you have got so many of them. So based on that, you can make use of any tools and you can make your research more meaningful. Yes, so over to you, Prasad sir. If there are any questions, that we can take those questions.
Some question I have tested in the WhatsApp. That is
Okay, WhatsApp chat. Okay, all sir, I just want to clarify which while using tools like Perplexity, the research papers still need to be completely original and not copied from any source, right? Like they detect copied data. See, you can make use of plagiarism detection tool, and those are also available. So you have got an AI tool that can, like, check the amount of redundancy and the plagiarism that's there in the paper. So you have got a whole array of them. So it's not about Perplexity doing it, but if you want Perplexity to try, like, detecting which are the sources from which this particular content has been copied, or for that matter, whether you want to check what is the originality of it, then you can definitely try it with a prompt. But it is not a plagiarism engine which would tell you, like, that these are the papers or these are the sections of the papers from which it has copied. So you have got other tools which include AI, like Trinity is a tool which includes AI, and upload a paper and it will tell you that in this section, in this particular para, in this particular line, from where that particular thing has been copied, and it has been copied from which paper, which journal, who were the authors. Those all queries can be answered, and there is definitely a AI engine for doing that. So it's not like Perplexity doing it, but you've got a different tool. So the task is different. So the tool is different. Could you please recommend any AI tool used for writing research paper for chemical engineers apart from Perplexity? There are many. So you can use Gemini 3, you can make use of Perplexity, you can use of, see, you can ask Perplexity what are the other tools that can be used specifically for chemical engineers, and I'm sure it will give you a lot of answers. But generally speaking, there is nothing specific to any domain. Based on what prompt, see, it's a search engine. And it is a search engine that comes with citation results. It is a search engine that comes with lot of LLM data that it is sharing with you. It is a engine that does a lot of thing in general. Though it is not a general LLM, it is an LLM specific to research, deep focus, deep researching LLM. So if you look at finance part of it, there is an LLM. If you look at sports part of it, there is an LLM. If you look at research part of it, there is an LLM. But there is nothing specific to chemical engineering. So your prompt and your queries take a different route. It gives you different curated result. It gives you different set of archival and repositories from where you get the papers. So that's my answer to it.
Participant, if you have any question, you can ask. Participant, dear participant.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
yeah, I just had a question regarding this research paper. Like now we have discussed how to basically craft a research paper. So I wanted to know, like right now, let's say you have decided the structure of your research paper and you already know what research problem it is. So can you use AI to perhaps select a journal which will like have a higher chance of publishing that paper?
Not
Like
a
based on your
higher
answer. Right?
chance of publishing a paper, but it can suggest you like, which are the best journals in which like, that particular paper can go. So it may not tell you the chances of your paper getting selected, but it can definitely narrow down and give you a list of like, if you say I want all the Q1 journals in which this particular topic can be published. So it can give you a list of all Q1 journals. It can also give you a schedule of the journal. It can tell you which particular countries and cities like, that particular journals are published and what are the timelines and the domains, and also that metadata you may get. But what are the chances of like, see, this is something which is going to be very subjective. So the chances of getting a journal published in a certain Q1 or a Q2 or a Q3 journal depends on like, the quality of your work and whether it is the most cited work or like, the credibility of the author and all. And that AI definitely will hallucinate and it won't give you the perfect answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, by considering the new to the AI tool, any student or any participant, if the prompt is very important parameter for the any AI tool, if the prompt is the correct, then you get the correct result. So how we can refine our prompt by using it?
Uh, See, I will tell you one thing. Prompt engineers are paid tons of money these days. Because like, the basic is when you are going for any AI thing, then you need to basically learn what are prompts, what is prompt engineering, how to craft a prompt. And for that matter, like, when I said co-star, when I have always been like, emphasizing on AI is a co-star. So what is a co-star? A co-star is like, you need a context to your prompt. You need an objective to your prompt. So C stands for context, O stands for the objective, S stands for the specificity, and T stands for the target audience. What is a target? C, co-star, COSTA. A is the audience, and R, what is the format in which you want the report? So start using any AI tool or an LLM as a co-star. You are the star and you have got a co-star. You need to train your co-star in order to get the best of your results. And like, I had this thing in my mind. So when I am writing prompts, then will people be able to like, understand my prompts and for that matter, effectively use that prompt? And do they have got like, expertise in writing prompts? So in the first like go, I thought like, I'll ask Nita ma'am, is there anybody who is covering on what is prompt, how to write a prompt, what is prompt engineering? But given that, like, you come as an August gathering and you have got very idea of like, what is AI, I came with a belief saying that you can write prompts and like, how to write the best prompts. And there's no thing like a perfect prompt. You go to Perplexity and you ask, how do I write a prompt to get to this outcome? You get my point. So like, Perplexity can itself suggest like, this is the way you need to query in order to get to this particular outcome. But definitely, as you rightly identified, writing a prompt is itself an art. And at the same time, there is a lot of like, expertise and they are paid highly because of their ability to write a context sensitive and at the same time result oriented prompts. So that is the key.
Prompting is the key to get the correct data.
Very true, very true. What you identified is a very perfect thing that the more you are, see, I met a gentleman like, 10 years then, and when I was talking to him, then he told me that asking the right question is important and the right answer, it doesn't have any importance for now.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
you have to do is ask the right question. And then I, at that time being very young, like, I did not pay much attention to it. But when I was working with like, these LLMs and like, I thought like, the wisdom that gentleman had, and he was 70 years old then, he said, ask the right questions. And then I realized LLMs are also working on the right questions, and it is curating outputs only when your question is valid. See, give me a 3-day conference plan, it will have no answers. But if I have got a specificity, I have got an audience, I have got a constraint, I have got a outlier to my prompt, I need everything. So it has to be a co-star prompt. It cannot be just a prompt. It has to be a co-star prompt, saying that it has to be context aware. It has to be having an objective. It has to be specific. It has to have a target. It has to have got an audience, and it has to got what format you want the output in. So if you have got all those properties, then like, you can better negotiate and better like, get your results. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir. I agree. Completely agree with you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. Sir, I have one query again.
Yes,
Suppose
sir.
to be I have data like data X and Y or Z, 3D plot. If I take the help of this software and plot it,
100%.
so that can
It can do a lot of image analysis. Perplexity itself is like, power to do a lot of image analysis. See, I have also got very limited time to demonstrate the power. Reason, if you upload an image, then you can do, see, I'll do one thing. I need to do that. So what you can do is, what you can do is you can upload a set of files. Like you take some local files and you do some query on it. Like let's take a file.
because generally to plot a 3D plot is very critical to give the various aspect.
Right.
So if
So
I plot it. So can that comes under the plagiarism? Then consider I plot it here and paste in my report.
there will be a lot of like, see, there is a lot of risk involved if you are not being authentic, like, in terms of, but if you are being genuine to the work that you are doing and you are yourself, like, taking care by using plagiarism detection tools and all, that you do not copy, or else for that matter, your intent is very clear that you don't want to get into any liabilities and legalities of plagiarism and all, then you need to choose. I have uploaded a file. I say, this is a feedback file, like, there are hundreds of people, those who have given feedback, and I have uploaded that file, and I say, give me a list of top, give me a list of top 5 performers with this particular is a text file, by the way, means which has got numerical values, comma operated and comma separated values. Give me a list of top 5 performers with names and graphs with names and uh, graphs. Share some quick insights. So I gave a PDF file which has got like, which was a Google file. And I am asking it to analyze the feedback and give me top 5 performers and prepare a concise report. So it is going to see, it is going to give me analyzing that there are applied physics and C programming, engineering, graphics and all. So it can like, give me the more precise my query, and I can also create a bar graph. So if I say create bar graphs for performance comparison. Though it will take time based on their internet connection and access to data, though this data is purely local, but it has also been uploaded on the Perplexity, so it may take some analysis time. So it will see, these are the graphs that it has created based on that data. So based on the file that I have uploaded, these are the graphs, these are the quick comparison insights that it has created. And at the same time, it has given me recommendations at the end of it, what you need to do in terms of the analysis and what are the next best action. So that's how, even for research papers, you can upload and ask relevant questions. So it's all about prompting. Once you upload that, either you go to the space and you create a separate space and you have a specific set of people doing a prompting on it, and it will help you solve and give you all your answers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Participant, if you have any question, you can ask to sir. Let me check the box also one time if somebody
Yes,
says.
Sir, I had a doubt.
yes, sir.
Sir, while economic research of any industry, we go like for any company, if we are finding out any manufacturing quantities of that company in tons or any other data like that, which is confidential. So can this AI help in retrieving that data from the internet or going through various documents of the company like environmental compliances, etc.?
See, if you have access to those papers which has compliance standards and industry specific thing, you can upload and you can query and you can get the results. Now, the greatest risk is that if you are taking any decisions or carrying out any research, considering the domain as healthcare, finance, and you have been overly dependent on tools like AI, and you don't go to the citations, and with oversight, you take up some conclusions, or the AI engine or the LLMs recommend or answer some of the questions. As a researcher, it is our first-hand responsibility to go to the citations, read, and also verify its authenticity. So, there is a area of risk. I would not say AI is the only co-star that you have. You also see with respect to that, if you see this Perplexity working, it has got different agents. Like somewhere, it has been using web, somewhere it has been making use of LLMs, somewhere it has been going to government sites, and so it definitely have got an integration of agentic AI into it, where different areas are being, but at the end of it, any kind of important areas that you are working on, like healthcare, finance, and for that matter, if it is sensitive to life and all, definitely need to have thorough investigation into it. So AI is no answer to it.
Sir, so do we have to upload such documents which are sensitive on this model, like
If
for
you
our
if it is an open domain or document, you can definitely upload it. But if you are not the owner of that document, that's wise not to upload it, because LLMs consume your data. मैं जो भी upload कर रहा है, that is going to the open world. वो जा तो रहा है, but it is, see, if you don't upload, it is anyways accessible in the dark web. It is accessible onto their sites. If it is see, one thing is the integrity part of it, we are responsible for it. You can't simply afford to take a confidential file, upload it, and do an analysis of it at your risk. If you are wanting to do it, that's a different thing. But एथिक्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, वो अपना लिमिटेशन तो आ जाता है किसी कंपनी का, जो तो प्राइवेट डेटा है, इफ यू वांटिंग टू एनालाइज दैट, इट्स ऑल unethical. And even AI does some recommendations, you need to find the ethics part of it. And there is ethical AI, that not everything that you take from AI can be consumed the way it recommends. थोड़ा अपना providence or wisdom is very important. So it opens up a lot of gray areas. The more you dive into it, you understand that AI can sometimes land you in trouble. Unless you are very judicious and doing a co-anchoring with AI. आप पूरा AI पे डिपेंड करके अपना पूरा रिसर्च पेपर या थेसिस करके PhD कर भी लो, बट एट द एंड ऑफ इट यू कैन एंड अप इन अ प्रॉब्लम. आपको अपना यूनिक कंट्रीब्यूशन एंड नोवेल्टी तो रखना ही है, और कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी ऑफ डेटा है तो मेंटेन करना ही है. Yes, sir. Over to you. Prasad, sir.
Prasad is there? I will check it.
Okay. So if there are no more questions, organizers, please let me know if there are no questions. So hello.
1 minute, sir. Prasad is there. He is probably having some
Okay.
problem.
All right. No problem. No problem. Monday, sir, at my end, if there are no questions, then at my end, I'm done.
Yeah, definitely. Participant, if you have the question, you can chat me also. This topic is very good. This is the point of the student. Topic is very good. They are the VET or faculties also. Those are the covering the areas of the research.
Right, sir.
So literature survey, doing the literature is a hectic job. This
And
makes
with respect to automation that AI brings in, your job narrows down to only 30% of it. 70% of it you can bank on AI for doing that. And all the prompts, my PPT I'll share, you can take all the prompts and experiment on that. And you can also craft your prompts in order to get any specific results that you are looking at.
any question? Otherwise, I will end up. I think, sir, there is no question.
Okay.
So I will make the thanks for. So thank you, sir, for a very nice presentation and very good way explain. Very easiest way how do the research and how the path you consider is very attractive. So go one by one step. It's fabulous work. So definitely the student and the faculty gets benefited from this. The query you answer is very fantastic way. I hope this will be useful for the student. I am very thankful for the being part of the organization and on the behalf of the chemical engineering department. I am very thankful for you for this presentation. Thank you, sir.
So at my end, my special thanks to the group of Thalomal Sani Engineering College and Chemical College. At the same time, I am in debt to Dr. Thampi, who has been my mentor guide, and he has been very humble. And thank you, Neeta ma'am, for giving me this opportunity, and the Department of Chemical Engineering. Thank you, Prasad. Thank you, Bande sir. And with that, I sign out, and thank you all the participants. I'll share my PPT with the organizers. If at all, you're very keen on interacting, I'm open to networking with you all. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I'll share with the students, definitely. So they will
Sure,
get the grip how to prompt it and they get the answer from the
sure, sir.
Definitely. Okay.
Thank you, sir. With that, we come to an end. Goodbye and good night.
Okay. Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
So all the participants, I will forward the PPT to you as soon as I receive from the speakers, and will be the share to the all participant. So I will end the meeting now. We'll meet again tomorrow morning at 11:30 for the with the next lecture. So tomorrow again we'll meet at 11:30. Okay. Good night then. I will end the meeting now for all.